We still
Yeah.
date, we go out, and we had made the decision not to have any more partners live with us while the kids were underage because things had gotten
Mm.
so some people use the label of non-monogamy when what they want is
Mm.
casual dating.
Mwah.
We don't do clear like that kind of, works, but here's the thing, a lot of people do. A lot of
Mhm.
people have, like, the desire to stay on the same page with their partner, to
Mhm.
know things ahead of time. Um, at the beginning, when you're opening, it
Mhm.
it feels perfectly natural to be like, "Okay, I need to know everything, and if I know everything, I'll stay safe, and if I create a set of rules where I know exactly what's gonna happen, I'll stay safe." But in
Yeah.
truth, the thing that keeps me feeling the safest, Andrea, is knowing that
Yeah.
every day this man wakes up next to me and says well, except the days he doesn't. Every day that he wakes up next to me, he says, "I choose you, and
Ah,
I choose me, and let's do
yeah.
this together."
Yeah.
And the reality is we're not promised tomorrow. I don't know whether
Yeah.
he'll fall in love with someone else. I don't know if he'll want a divorce for any number of reasons. I don't know what's gonna happen, and I find immense safety in really dealing with the reality that I don't own him. I don't get to
Mm.
decide whether he loves me tomorrow. I only get to decide how I show up today.
Oh, wow.
It's
It's
it
quite a
and I
revelation,
don't
yeah.
it's not like it's not something that's easy for me to do. It would be way easier to say, "Promise me." But
Yeah.
he can't promise me.
You
What he can
can't.
do is show up, and what I can do is
Yep.
show up, and we've gone through hard times. We did an episode on our podcast, this past year. We had 18 months of, like, real trouble because our sex
Mm.
life really started to fall apart, and this
Mhm.
is over the course it was, like, from 2024 through half of 25 or the begin no,
Okay.
right into the beginning of 25. 18 months of, like it was rough, and when your sex life is what brought you together originally and, like,
Mhm.
falling that
Yes.
profoundly, that was so scary, and he's older
Oof.
than I am, so he'll be
Okay.
60 next year,
Oh, that's
like
right, 10 years, yeah.
yeah, he's it I got scared, it was scary for me, but,
Yeah.
like, also, oh, right. Our relationship isn't actually based on any of those things. So we
Mm.
just kept at the conversation of like, what does it mean that we're struggling right now? And
Mhm.
I can go get these needs met somewhere else. And I can,
Mhm.
and you're okay with that, and I'm okay with that. But also like, but we still want to relate to each other. So how do we keep
Sure.
doing that? How do we
Yeah.
do that? It's like to have somebody who just keeps coming back to the puzzle of being in your current relationship as it is, not the memory of what it was,
Yeah.
and not what you hope you provide in the future, but what you
Yeah. What
actually
is
are
today?
making.
Mhm.
This
Mm.
is the safest I've ever felt in any relationship, and that includes everyone else I've dated. I've had some wonderful partnerships,
Yeah.
but it's a rare one where somebody meets you with that level of commitment to staying in the mess of it and, like,
Yeah.
evolving and
It's
letting things
huge.
change, like, when he so we went through this period of time where it was I mean, it was terrifying to me. I'm like, "Oh, I am not ready
Mm.
to be done with my sex life, and you
Yeah.
appear to be kinda checked out right now." And so I proposed like, 3 different times over the course of several months, I proposed that we transmute our relationship into friendship first,
Mhm.
co-parenting, and co-living, 'cause we those were the 3 things that we
Mm.
were still doing really well.
Yeah.
And he kept coming back to the table and saying like, "Yeah, I know, and I know we can have sex with other people, and that seems to still be working, but I don't wanna give up on this." And he just kept saying, "I don't wanna give up on this." So we just
Which is
it was
great.
like,
Yeah.
it's
Yeah.
great, but it's also like,
Exhausting.
like the
Yeah.
when you can have easy sex with someone else
Yeah.
and you're like
Yes.
not somehow it's just like
Yeah.
not working, like,
Yeah, and he's saying
but
those
be
things, but you're going,
and he's
"Yeah,
saying
but
it's
I'm
still
not
not
getting that
working.
from you." Yeah.
Exactly. And then eventually, with enough work, enough effort, enough conversations, enough trial and error and experimentation, we had a breakthrough. Our sex life
Mm.
is as good, if not better, than it ever has been. I mean,
Wow.
uh, we had, like, a full-on breakthrough last year, and
Yeah,
it's
just worked.
I'm shocked. I'm shocked to find, like, oh,
Oh,
oh, that was actually able to be recovered. So I'm
amazing.
so grateful that he stayed in that, like, "No,
Yeah.
let's not give up on this. Let's stay with it."
Yeah,
I was
'cause you never
mad at
know.
the time. I was so mad. I was like,
You're
it
like,
felt because it
"No."
feels like withholding. You know when a partner's, like,
Yes.
not like, they're not who they were and they're still changing, but it feels like
Mhm.
they're taking something away from you?
Yes,
Like, it
and you
feels
have
like, "Oh, I lost
control over it.
something."
Yeah,
Exactly. So this is the
yeah.
puzzle. Like, we're in this relationship.
Mm,
That's the kind of relationship I like to build, and I've
yeah,
had other partnerships where people, like, they've done amazing things with me, we've grown together, but they've all sort of, like, been beautiful for a while, and then just sort of closed, just, like,
yeah.
come to a closure. Um,
Mm. What do you
this
think
one,
was
for whatever reason,
like
doesn't.
it just doesn't. What do you think
Hasn't.
was the catalyst to you guys having issues? And was it were you, like, involved with anybody or that you were maybe getting your needs
Yeah.
met elsewhere?
Yeah, so in hindsight, we did a bunch of sort of retrospectives, like looking back,
Yeah.
because we both track things quite a lot. We're trying to pay attention to things. And a
Mhm,
couple things happened.
mhm.
I was seeing 4 people, which is a lot. So that
I was
meant
gonna say,
5
is there a
partners. Like,
limit? Okay,
I was seeing
there's
4
no
people casually. All of the other relationships were relatively casual. One of them was really meaningful, but she wasn't as available to me because she had younger children.
Mhm. Oh,
Um
was it all women before you were
no. No,
okay.
actually, that was actually 3 men, who I was
Oh,
dating
and 1.
casually, and 1 woman who I was seeing seriously, but she
Okay.
still had limits on what she could be available for. But I was seeing
Mhm,
all of them over the course of about a year,
mhm,
different lengths of connections and frequency of connections.
mhm,
And that was all working really well, but I certainly my sex life with Ken, like the frequency did drop some, just like
mhm.
it just happened. Like, oh, I'm having sex with other people. And so some of the frequency dropped off, but not
Yeah.
sustainedly. Not like, oh, we aren't having sex anymore, and not even a complete drop. We were talking well, everything was going well. And then all of those relationships, all of them ended within a few months of each other. Like, so within a period
Mm,
of like 3 months, all of them ended. And he and I, looking back now, realized that I kind of just relaxed. Like, that was a lot of output. It was just a lot.
yeah,
I was also, I teach, I teach, I run the year of opening. So I'm constantly outputting for other people about relationships. So I have a lot of contact with people. So I just sort of
yeah,
exhaled.
yeah.
And while that was happening, Ken started having some erection difficulties. I speak about this
Ah,
openly because Ken does
yeah,
himself, right?
okay.
Totally
Mhm,
natural thing that happens for men
sure.
in their mid-50s.
Yep,
Sure. Was not the end of the world, but he was struggling with it, and it was getting in his head, and he wasn't dealing with it. Like, he needed to
yeah.
take that to his own therapist. And what happened was we wound up in that classic dynamic of I started being the therapist in the room, right? I
Oh,
started problem solving.
and
It
you do
kills your
not want that.
libido. It just like,
Yes,
no,
it
it's no
does.
good. So that was playing out, but we didn't see it. In the micro moments, it all felt like, "No, we're
Mhm,
just doing the best we can. We're figuring this out." But I looked
mhm.
back, and we looked back, and we're like, "Oh, oh, these things all
Yeah,
playing together." I exhaled and just kinda relaxed and let things kinda get a little complacent. He was
yeah.
struggling, and so we just sort of hit this, like, "Ugh."
Mm,
And neither of us knew what to do to pick it
yeah.
back up. And it took, yeah, so it was 18 months of sort of the first year was
Oof.
like the downhill part. And then there were serious conversations about like, we need to renegotiate this. This doesn't work. I'm not
Yeah,
willing to live this way. And yes, I can go get my sexual needs met elsewhere, but we're not need fulfilling machines. I didn't just
right.
need sex. I wanted to relate to this being in this
Yeah,
way. And I wanted to
yeah.
know if he still had that for me. And if he didn't, I wanted to be able to grieve it and let
Yep.
it go. Because in
Oof.
truth, that could be part of our story. I don't know. He
Yeah,
might get to a point, I might get to a point where we say, I love our relationship, but I'm
yeah.
done being sexual with you. Let's
Yes.
reimagine. That was on the table. But when he kept saying, no, I'm not, but I'm not done with it. That's what
Mm,
was like, it's hard. It's hard to stay in the
Ugh,
trenches with your partner. But
it
we got help.
is.
We
Okay.
got he eventually he found somebody great to work with. Melina Williams Haas, was working with him on she's my absolute favorite choice of person if
Mm,
you like power dynamics and you're playing with power in your relationships, which we often are.
yeah,
Oh, she was so good.
she's so
Really good
good.
help for him. I got help from my analyst and, like, was working on our individual stuff.
Yeah.
That's what made space for us to come back together and reimagine
Wow.
what we could do together, and really, it was breakthrough material because 'cause I'm like, "Oh,
Yeah.
yep, there we go. New version of our relationship. New version of us."
Yeah.
And it's not about getting back to anything. It's about, like,
Yeah.
"No, yep,
Of
whole new
course.
thing."
Yeah, and I love that because I think that often needs to happen. We need to have some sort of shuffle or something happen within the relationship for us to slow down and really dive in deep and take a look at it, right? Analyze it, see where we are going. I love that you guys have that agreement that you can stay or go. I've always said that. I'm like, with marriage, shouldn't there be something like you can come together and say, are we going to stay together or are we going to move apart? And there's no animosity. There's no big loss of money. There's just nothing. You just decide to split and it's
Right.
your
It
choice,
it's so it's so strange to me that we
Yeah.
don't have an
No, we
automatic
don't.
re-upping. Like, it
Yeah.
seems strange, but it's
Wow.
but it wasn't, like, I think that the thing that people imagine is that, if the sex falls apart in a relationship, you either enter a sexless relationship or you get your needs
Mhm.
met elsewhere, and I'm like,
Yeah.
actually, it was somewhere in the middle. Like, he still was even going out some during that
Yeah.
time. I don't know how his sex life with them felt, like, that's
Sure.
between him and them, but
Yeah.
I getting to reinvent with someone
Yeah.
is it is, to
Ooh,
my
okay.
mind, like, that's it. That's the real deal. Like,
That's a real deal.
I trust us to
Yeah.
be in this mess together
Yeah.
and to reinvent, and so here we are. So I'll be 50 this summer, and
Mhm.
he'll turn 60 next year, and I'm like, "Great. We just proved to ourselves right before a pivotal time, like when we're
Yes.
apt to think about this, we just proved we can
We can do
reimagine this
it.
relationship. So in some
Yeah.
ways, I have more faith and trust in us than I ever have because we just
Yeah. You
showed that
came
it
out
doesn't
stronger.
have to be the same thing. We could actually do something completely different.
Mm.
Which especially now is like the kids are grown and
Yeah.
like we really are in a different phase. So
Yeah. And they're
there's
totally on
technically
board. They've been around you guys long enough to know how your whole thing
So, yeah,
works, right?
they've been I mean, the youngest of them when we first got together and I came out as polyamorous, my youngest was 2 and he
Mm.
had 3-year-old twins, and
Mhm.
the eldest was 10, and now
Whew.
so everybody's between 18 and 26 now.
Oh my gosh.
One of them actually recorded a podcast episode with us talking about what it was like
Oh,
to be, like, raised in a household where, like,
yeah.
yeah, we don't do the monogamous thing. We're doing something else,
Yeah.
which
Was
is
there anything
awesome because
surprising that was said that you were like, "Oh, what?"
not so much surprising, but the most touching thing was, so they're trans,
Okay.
and they said, like, that our our willingness to be ourselves gave
Yeah.
him, like, the full knowledge that we would be nothing but accepting
Supportive.
of
Yep.
their whole experience.
Yeah.
And it's not like that's not why I set out to be non-monogamous, but honestly, that would be reason enough for me to do
That's
it.
great.
Like,
I
"Okay,
was
didn't
gonna
know."
say, yeah, that probably made it a little bit easier in knowing that it was gonna be okay because they were so used to so many different facets of relationships and how you can be that they figured you'd be open to it. That's
And
amazing.
us constantly saying, like, "We know our life looks different from other
Mhm.
people, and
Mhm.
here's why," without giving them detail. They didn't need details about our sex lives,
Yeah,
who
sure.
what kids do, but they did need to know, like, "Yeah, yeah, we still
Yeah.
date, we go out," and we had made the decision not to have any more partners live with us while the kids were underage because things had
Mm.
gotten so messy with that first triad. I
Sure.
would have otherwise been very open to it, and I'm open
Mm.
to it again now. Like, my youngest
Yeah.
turned 18, and I was like, "Oh,
You're like,
okay, it's back on the table,
"Out you go."
guys." And they know
That's
it.
funny.
They know. Some of them still live at home with us, and I'm like, it's on the table." But would I do that?
Yeah.
Like, I would never move anyone in without a conversation amongst our
Sure.
household. Just like
Right.
I wouldn't like one of them might want to move in a partner, and
Yeah.
that would be a conversation amongst our household. So that's the kind of household that we've created is the one where
Mhm.
it's all on the table. You just got to talk about
Yeah.
it.
It's amazing. Is there anyone that either of you are kind of serious about that you're thinking, "Oh, might be a possibility?" Or what
Not
if there's
right
2?
now. Yeah. Honestly,
You move
well,
both of them in.
we remodeled our house to have a lot of extra space in it 3 years ago, and I'm not gonna
I
lie,
love it.
this was not on my mind when we did.
That's right.
Um,
Right.
it I could imagine any number of scenarios,
Mm,
but right now, everybody else I have seen for the past 3 years has had kids, younger kids. So
mm.
they're not in a place of thinking
No.
about that. They're all so it hasn't really come up because everybody's
Yeah.
just been kind of like, "Yeah, we're just still doing this," and I mean, that nightmare I described at the outset, like,
Yeah.
I wouldn't do that again. I wouldn't, like,
No.
drag anybody through that. I would know better than to
Yes.
make such a tumultuous life. Because the
Yeah.
only thing I regret about that time is the tumult it caused for the kids.
Oh, for
And
sure.
I had no idea what I was starting, no idea what was happening, and then you're just, like, in it, and it's
Mm.
happening. And it's not exactly a regret, it's more like, "Oh, well, I wouldn't do that again." So when I date
Yeah.
people now and they have young kids, we
Yeah.
have a lot of honest conversations about, like, how do you present in front of them and, like, what is okay to share and how like, can I meet them? Can I not? Like, how does this work? Everybody's
Yeah.
doing it differently, and
Mm.
we all have to make the decision that feels right for us, and
Sure.
so, yeah, it hasn't come up, but who
Yeah.
knows? Maybe.
Wow. Oh my gosh, thank you for sharing that story and expounding on it from last time. It's so good. I'm always like,
Oh,
"Oh, this is so
it's so silly.
fascinating." It is. But I think to people that aren't used to that lifestyle, right? Like it's taboo for a lot of people. I'm so open about hearing about everything that it intrigues me. So I'm sure some of the listeners are also like, thank you, Andrea, for asking those questions because I'm curious too. I try to think of the questions people are wanting to really
Yeah.
know. Yeah. So do you think that, just speaking of questions, do you think that a lot of people tend to, maybe not a lot, tend to pursue the non monogamy for the wrong reasons? Like they somehow see it as like a permission to cheat. Maybe some see it that
So
way. Do you ever
some
find that?
do. Okay,
Yeah.
so some people use the label of non-monogamy when what they want is
Mm.
casual dating. Some people
Hmm.
use the label of non-monogamy, but then are not willing to actually negotiate with their partners. It's not entirely uncommon for me to see
Hmm.
somebody come in and say, "So I'm non-monogamous, and I need
Hmm.
you to get my partner up to like they need to learn how to be polyamorous because I am." But then that
Yeah.
original partner, sometimes they're like not willing to have clearly explicit conversations. They're not willing to
Yeah.
deal with the betrayal trauma that's coming up around like, "Hey, you just changed the rules halfway through the game." And they're
Sure.
so it's not so much that I think people are using it as an excuse to cheat as are you using the language that you actually mean? Like if you're
Mm.
not available
Hmm.
to really have ongoing dialogues and create agreements with people and hold yourself accountable for being who you say you're going to be, for aligning your words and actions. If you're not available for all of that,
Yeah.
um, what's going to be the ethical part of this supposed
Right.
ethical non-monogamy, right? I need
Ooh.
you to be willing to do that. And this often requires getting really courageous about understanding, okay, I'm going to have to reimagine what it is to relate to my partners because we need to unpack our couples privilege. We need to also not assume that we're
Hmm.
going to do this both the same way. So like
Hmm.
there's a lot to unpack.
So
I mean,
many
that's why my
layers.
work, like I don't when people come to work with me, you can't work with me for less than a year. That's
Yeah.
my bare minimum
Great for
is a
your
year.
business. Yeah.
It's it is. Well, it was funny. My original goal in that was not a business decision. It is good for business.
Yeah.
Of course it is.
Yeah.
It's predictable, but
Mhm.
the bottom line is it takes years to shift yourself from a monogamous paradigm where everything that I've ever known is rooted in the idea that exclusivity is the primary way we create safety in relationships. To
Mhm.
shift that to the paradigm where we say, actually, it's connection, attunement, willingness to negotiate, willingness to hold ourselves accountable and to repair as we
Mhm.
go, those are the things that are gonna create safety in relationship.
Mm.
Making that shift, that's not a switch we flip, and that's
Right.
where, like, the version of me who was like, "Sure, I guess since I fell for somebody, let's do non-monogamy." Like, "No, babe,
Yeah.
you have no idea how to do non-monogamy. Doing
Exactly.
non-monogamy is gonna be a complete rewrite of your
Yeah.
baseline relational ability, and by the way, you need that for monogamy too, you just don't know it, right? All the skills
Yes.
we learn for
Great point.
non-monogamy, all of them are fantastic skills for
For
monogamy. The
monogamy.
same isn't
Wow.
true in reverse. So I have plenty of people who come through my work and they're like, "We're exploring, we're trying to figure this out. We don't know
Yeah.
if we want to be non-monogamous." I'm like, "That's fine."
Yeah.
Like monogamy, really well done conscious monogamy, it's a wonderful choice.
Yes.
But all of
Oh,
these things, all the stuff I just talked about, yeah, apply them to your monogamy. It will be a really
w
beautiful experience.
I love that. Do you think a lot of people come wanting to try it where you have one partner that is doing it just for the other partner? I feel like,
Yeah.
I feel like that would happen a lot, and that's really not a reason to do it, right?
Well, okay,
It's
yes and
just
no. Yes
okay.
and no. Um, okay, how many times have you had a partner who really loved a hobby or
Mhm.
really loved a certain kind of food and
Mm,
or kind of music and like you were not into it, but you
mm.
went and eventually you're like, actually, I love this. I really
You're
do.
right.
I authentically love it. So having a partner influence us is not
Mhm,
necessarily a bad thing. However,
mhm,
at the beginning, what you often have is an initiating partner, somebody whose
mhm,
idea this is. They're inspired, they're excited, and a
mhm.
reluctant partner. And that reluctant partner may be like, they may feel coerced. They may feel like
Yeah,
I am between a rock and a hard place because I have to decide to either be non monogamous or lose this relationship.
yeah.
Or they may actually be in a space where they're like, you know what? I don't know. Maybe there is something here. Maybe I could be different. Maybe this could be something. And that's why I ask people to take a pace, right? Like,
Mm.
often people, like,
Slow
jump out of
down.
the airplane and set fire to the airplane and don't pack their parachute right, and they just start doing stuff, and I'm like, "Okay, I mean, you can do it the way I did it, but look, it was a
Let me
it
tell
was
you.
not a great experience." I strongly recommend taking an educational path.
Okay,
Most of us, what we need is a really strong educational path. Not just listen to a bunch of podcasts, though that's a great place to start, but
sure.
an actual total overview of like, great, how do you guys make agreements? How do you repair? What are the ways that the two of you come together and grieve when your relationship changes?
Mm.
How do we do these things? There's a million other things. I mean, I teach people for a whole year and we can barely cover everything that I want
Ah,
people to explore
yeah,
as they're doing this work. And
yeah,
so it's not a bad thing to be inspired by your partner, but if you're doing it and you also don't wanna do any of that work, you're not
yeah.
interested in relational exploration,
Mhm.
that's not great. Because honestly,
Not great.
you don't even have to wanna be open. Mono
Yeah.
poly can work. Like, some people are like, "I just don't wanna date." I have plenty of students who, like, one of them is really into their art or their music, or they're really into hanging out with their friends, and that's where they spend their autonomous time.
Hmm.
And their
Yeah,
partner's like, "I like to fuck people." And
yeah.
that can work. Like,
Yeah,
that can work, but we have to both have a motivation to be in it.
yeah, yeah.
And that's the tricky spot, 'cause if
Mm.
it becomes a weapon where I'm only doing this because you're making me do it,
Right. That's
that sucks. That's a
yeah,
problem because now we have a blame and shame game going on, and
yep,
it's yeah, and so there's stuff
yeah,
to unpack there.
sure. Would we be surprised at how many people come through your office that are actually interested in this? Like, I think people would think it's a very small amount. I feel like it's not. Not in
It's
today's
so
age.
there are so many people exploring. So our biggest studies tell us somewhere around 5% of people in the US are doing non-monogamy. And
Okay.
somewhere around 20% of people have tried it.
Mm,
20% of people is the same number of people as who own cats or play musical instruments. So, like, this is a
it's
lot
a
of
lot.
people, right? It's a lot.
Yeah.
But again, remember how many different kinds of non monogamy there are. Like, people
Yes.
who are like, we're going to try having threesomes. That would
Mm,
fall under this category. And people like me who are like, I would like to live with multiple partners and have them all like enjoy each other as a partnership.
Yeah.
That all fits under one big umbrella. So
Yeah.
it is a
A
lot
lot of
more
different
people.
facets.
The
Yeah.
biggest thing we can do though is remember all of us, we've all known somebody who's done
Mm.
this at some point in our life. Like, you can't get to midlife and not have
Not
somebody. So can
something.
you be a safe person for somebody to come out to about doing non-monogamy and not blame everything that happens on the non-monogamy? Because
Yeah.
that dumpster fire I described to you,
Yeah.
the real problems in there, we had no idea what we were doing.
Yeah.
We had no idea. So even when I had those feelings, I even honesty is the best policy wasn't enough to carry us
Mhm.
through. And if
Mhm.
I had shoved those feelings down and never acted on them, sure, would we be married? Maybe. Would I
Be
would I be a
happy?
psychologist? Would I be happy?
Probably
Would my
not.
children be okay? Cuz I was in a really angry marriage and I was
Yeah.
super sexually repressed. Like really, really
Yeah.
was. Like, would I be okay?
Searching. Mm.
I
Yeah.
don't think so. So
I know.
we have to really sit with the reality that lots of relationships
Mhm.
don't go well.
Yep.
And there are lots of ways to do them better. So I
Yeah.
think people would be surprised at the number of people who contemplate this and the number of
Yep.
different reasons why people contemplate this, like why they even bother trying to figure it out.
Yeah.
Um, yeah.
Yeah.
So
It's
be a person
wild.
who's not reactionary about it. That's like the number one
Right.
thing I would ask people. Just get curious about it, like you said at the
Just get
opening.
curious. Yeah. Yeah. So when you've studied so much about like jealousy and stuff, is what do you like what do you think people misunderstand most about jealousy in relationships? Is there anything in particular? I know you really studied a lot on this.
Yeah, I mean, the first thing is, of course, that jealousy itself doesn't indicate that there's a problem. A lot of us
Yeah.
experience high levels of jealousy with even
Mm.
minimal interaction, but also jealousy is neither an all my problem nor an all you problem, right? We have to actually be in the puzzle of jealousy and get really
Mm.
curious about it because especially in non-monogamous relating, we have to learn how to work with jealousy. It's going to show up.
Right.
We can't get blamey and shamey on people who are feeling jealousy. We need to work with it. So
Yes.
we do. But also in our monogamous connections, like we can't pretend like we're not going to deal with jealousy. Monogamy doesn't
No.
protect us from jealousy, so we have to relax our grip a little bit and have a conversation about what jealousy is and what it's trying to do because jealousy is it's listed at the root of the vast majority of domestic violence cases. So we have to be
Mhm.
real. Jealousy
Mm.
can be dangerous, but it's
Sure.
dangerous because we have treated jealousy as an excuse to hurt each other.
Mm.
And it's
Wow.
like there aren't any. We don't there
Yeah.
aren't any excuses to hurt each
Yeah.
other, to be physically violent to each other. So
No.
jealousy needs to be a conversation that we're having amongst all of us. And I love that work. My work in jealousy is super important to me. I will always be doing that work because our national culture, like our, it just does not include a healthy conversation about jealousy and how
Yeah.
we work with it. We really need
Yeah.
that.
Is there certain things that people can do if they're feeling that jealousy come up? Like the other day, I was walking with my boyfriend somewhere and I was kind of ahead of him and I saw this group of girls coming up and they were walking up and I just thought because he's real cute and I thought they were going to say something. And then sure enough, the one girl was like, "You're really handsome," and I felt my little ping of what? And I thought to
Yep.
myself, "What is that? Where'd that come from, Andrea?" And I thought I should look at that as like, wow, they think he's really cute and he's with me. So what do I have to worry about? But I know it's also past triggers of, infidelity that's happened in relationships. So it's those little things that you're worried, like, is he going to act on something like that? Which I don't think he would.
Right.
But
So, I mean, there's the clue. The first thing with jealousy, I have so if people are into this, you can find all of my jealousy resources on my website. I have a whole jealousy resource center with all
oh,
my published literature on it,
I need to go
because
there.
it's just such a window into our shadow, right? That
Yes.
ping is information,
Yes.
and it is not just information about one thing. We've got information in
Yeah.
there about your relationship with your boyfriend. We've got
Yeah.
information about what conversations have you had and not had that would help you feel
Hmm.
safer. We need to also look at where were you actually feeling some envy maybe these girls actually got your envy up. Maybe you were feeling a little like, did they have something that had you thinking that he might look at them as well? Like, is that a
Oh,
possibility? And if your envy comes up at the same time, your jealousy comes up, like,
yeah.
now we're kind of pulled in both directions.
We're gonna
Also,
yeah.
did you also was that zing, was it something that you could also get off on? Because a lot of
Oh,
us do
yeah.
also have a little bit of like, "Oh, yeah, he's that.
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah, it
okay, I
turns
could
you
get a little
on,
bit of
right? Yeah,
that,"
yeah,
right?
yeah.
So,
Yes.
there's so much information packed into a moment of jealousy, and
Yeah.
it's tied to everything because jealousy shows up as young as 5 months old and just then
Yes.
follows us throughout all of our lives. So, the thing about jealousy is we need to allow ourselves to understand that it is not as simple as just, "Oh, jealousy means you're insecure."
Yeah.
No, honey, like,
It's
great. That's a place we need to look. It might point to that, but there's a million other
so much
things
more.
under the surface of jealousy too. So get super
Ooh,
curious about it. Ask really interesting questions.
yeah.
I've recorded at least 6 episodes of Playing with Fire on jealousy because
And
there's so many
jealousy.
different ways to look, and I've done like 200 podcast
Ugh,
episodes on it everywhere because it's such a great topic.
amazing. It
There's so much good stuff in
is.
it.
And we
People try to
suppress it
run
a lot of
from it,
times.
but it's
Yep.
actually really, really juicy.
I love that there's information behind it. Like, that's
Yeah.
exciting to think that, to really stop and go, and I'll do that, like, now that I know if that happens again, I know I'll be like, "Okay, but what does that mean? Why did I do that?"
Yeah.
And try to figure
Yeah,
that
like,
out. Wow.
what is pinging me here? Because it comes back to
Yeah.
our core attachment material, right? Like,
Yeah.
oh, there's so much.
Ugh,
But
yes.
you did a really interesting thing that is always a great first question. Like,
Mhm.
as first aid for jealousy, when you get the ping, turn your attention back to the connection between you and the partner. Because jealousy's
Mhm.
distraction is, now I look at the third. I look at the person who I perceive as the interrupter. Jealousy always shows up in a
Okay.
triangle. There's someone that I'm imagining is going to interfere with my relationship. I feel a threat, but
Mhm.
that's a distraction. Like, yeah, okay, sure, they
Mm.
exist. If my connection to my partner is strong,
Mhm.
and I
What about it?
understand, I have clarity of my agreements, I know how to talk to them, I can name my jealousy,
Yeah.
there might be a feeling of threat, but is there an actual threat? Probably not.
Probably
So
not.
you're that move to be like, wait, I trust him.
Yeah.
We're okay. That's the move, right? It's what
Yes.
Hera never does. You know how Hera is the goddess of jealousy? She is.
Yes.
She's also,
Yes.
by the way, the goddess of marriage. So
Really?
that's
That's
really fun. Yeah, goddess of
interesting.
marriage,
Yeah.
goddess of jealousy. She
Yeah.
always turns all of her attention to all of her fuckboy husband's girls, all of them. The ones who
Mm.
he also, by the way, like, is raping. Like, it's not like all of
Yeah.
these are consensual relationships. She
Uh,
never turns her attention to Zeus himself. Don't
mhm.
make Hera's mistake. Hera is perfect. We leave Hera on her pedestal. She is perfect because she is the goddess of jealousy.
Yes.
This is what she does. She enacts it. What's the thing she does that we don't want to do? She doesn't
Okay.
haul Zeus up by the bootstraps and say, "What the hell are you doing? What is
No.
this?" She instead turns her attention to punishing
She
the third, which is
uh,
actually ineffective and just keeps the cycle going
yeah.
forever.
Oh,
So
wow.
we're humans.
Yeah.
We need to deal with our actual relationship.
Oh, so good. Yeah, I'll definitely think about that. And I wasn't worried at all because he's
Excellent.
super we're locked in. We're locked in,
I
but
love it.
we do
I
a lot of
love
good
it.
stuff. So, okay, last question because I know a lot of my listeners out there are coming off a divorce or heartbreak and they are dating again. Should they come across somebody who is engaged with ethical
They will.
non-monogamy practices, and they will,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah, they will. You can't be on a dating app right now and not have
And
probably
not
half of your feed filled, especially if you're on
yes.
if you're on Field, if you're on any of the
Yes.
sites that have a little bit more openness. Yes, you're going
Is
to.
that something they should be putting on their dating apps? If it's, maybe not Field, like maybe it's just Bumble or Hinge. Should they be putting that out there, or is that something they should save for an actual conversation?
So if you are practicing non-monogamy, as in you are intentionally building multiple relationships, you want to
Mhm.
build multiple relationships. That's what you want to do. Yes. If you
Yeah,
want a monogamous relationship and you just want to date multiply, don't put ENM. You're
don't put it
not.
on there.
You're not. You're
Yeah.
not. And it is the biggest thing that bothers me about dating apps right now is everybody's using that label. What they mean is
Mm.
I am open to dating multiple people. Yes, we all are. We're on a
Yes, but
dating
not at the
app.
same time. They're not talking about like really
When
getting
you're ready,
together and having a
like, when
relationship.
I'm going on a first date, I do not expect that you are now exclusive to me.
Right.
Tell me that we're not high school. The last time I saw that happening was high school. We need to let
Yeah.
that go. We need to have a define the relationship conversation, even if that's date 3. If for you, you're like, "Yep, after date 3, I want exclusive," whatever that
Yeah.
is, great. But if you just wanna date multiply, you do not need to claim polyamory. Please don't.
Yeah.
That's not the
You
thing.
don't. Okay.
But if you are open to a non-monogamous configuration,
Mhm.
then consider what are the questions you need to ask the people that you're connecting with. And I mean,
Mm.
like, let's say you find somebody on an app who says that they are married and non monogamous.
Mhm.
Ask them, are you dating independently? Like, do you make decisions autonomously or do you make decisions as like a unit? The two of
Yeah.
you are going to make
Oh,
decisions
great
and
question.
tell me what you're available for. You could also ask, like, how am I allowed to connect with you and contact you? Like, are
Mhm.
you are you available to actually be relating to me, or is this just about sex? And
Mhm.
let people be clear. Like, it's okay for it to be just about sex. That
Yeah.
the lie around that question is the one thing that damages
Yep.
non-monogamous, especially boys. If any boys are listening to this,
Mhm.
don't do that. If you're in it for the sex,
Yeah.
just say you're in it for the sex.
Say
It's
it.
fine. There are plenty of us who we are as
Yes.
randy as all get out. Like,
Yes.
let us know that so that we know that. Lying about that only makes you a reputation, especially amongst
It
the
does.
non-monogamous folks,
It
like the
does, and it
actual
creates
community, and
yeah,
it's
and
just
it
messing
creates
up
a
the whole vibe.
dishonesty right off the bat before you even have a
Exactly.
chance to get into
Exactly.
it.
Yeah,
Wow.
and don't be afraid to ask somebody. The very first thing, when somebody tells you they're non-monogamous, ask them to tell you what it means for them. Tell me more about
Mm.
how you do it. There are a
Yes.
lot of bad answers. Listen for the red flags. Like, put your red flag detectors on and
Mhm.
listen. If they start saying things that make you feel gross, trust
Yeah.
your gut. Trust your
Yes.
gut. There are a lot of
Oh, I
people out
bet.
there in all relationship structure styles doing things that have red flags. Red
Yeah.
flags exist everywhere. So
Yeah.
trust your gut.
Oof. Great info. Whew. That was a lot. That was good, good
It
stuff.
was. We went
Good,
at
good
it,
stuff.
Andrea.
We did. I love it. And you always get me 2 episodes out of this, which is great because I don't wanna overwhelm them, you know? It's a
It's
lot of
yeah, I know. It's a
information.
lot.
It
And my
is, and I want
story
them
is
to
so
process
silly. It's
it,
so
but it's
silly.
so
Honestly.
good. It's
Sometimes when I'm telling it back now, I'm like, what the fuck, man?
what the
Gosh.
fuck? I know, but it's for, like, people that don't hear this on a daily basis, and there's so many people that I think are so intrigued by it, and they're just afraid to ask or afraid to listen, and I
Right.
think that these podcasts give them the opportunity to just listen in
And
without
a
knowing.
and a lot of people don't tell they don't tell the yucky story. Like,
Yeah.
I know, like, amongst my colleagues, amongst my friends, amongst my community, like, we wanna tell the happy stories. The happy stories
Yeah.
exist, but we need to also acknowledge that, like, there's a lot
Rough.
of stuff that goes down, and we need to bounce back from it and learn how to do better, and
Mm.
yeah,
Yeah.
I just have
Yep.
no interest in hiding the dirty laundry.
I hear ya.
It's
I
there.
hear
It's
ya.
real.
All right, before we wrap up, I want to play a game that I'm introducing this season. I'm season 8 of the
Yay.
podcast, and it's called Relationship Reality Check. Okay, so I'm going to throw out some relationship scenarios, and then you're going to tell me if it's healthy, like something that actually supports a strong relationship. If it's messy, it's not necessarily wrong, but it causes some issues, some drama or confusion, or if it's a total deal breaker, something that for
Okay.
many people would just be a total red flag. Okay,
Okay.
so healthy, messy, deal breaker. Okay, number 1,
Okay.
looking through your partner's phone when they're not around. Is that healthy, messy, or
Oh,
deal breaker?
deal breaker.
Deal breaker.
Deal breaker. And here's the thing, we need to get to the root of it because the reason why you're doing that matters a lot. It matters
Yes.
so much. I understand why it happens.
Yes.
But as an ongoing way to like monitor partners, it's not going to actually get you what you want. So we need to deal
No.
with the underlying circumstances that are leading you in that
Yeah.
direction. There are
Yeah.
better ways to have open communication.
Yeah, and I feel like if you're doing it, there's already an issue, right? If you're finding the need
Well,
to do that.
yeah. So, yeah, there's an issue, but sometimes the issue is some people are super hyper vigilant. So they may need some
They just can't help
independent
it.
work on like they're really struggling with hypervigilance, inventing scenarios in their mind. And some people have betrayal trauma that is never dealt with. And now their partner has just like over and over again shown them that the only way they can get information
Mm,
is by subterfuge. So these are
yeah.
unhealthy dynamics. We need
Ugh.
therapist office, bare
Yuck,
minimum, bare
yuck,
minimum.
yuck, yuck, and you're almost always gonna find something Right, there's gonna be something in
Well,
there
you know what?
causes an issue.
Even if you find nothing,
Mhm.
they're going to find out that you looked
That you
eventually,
looked, so
and
it's
now
no
we have a
win.
different now we have another problem.
Yep.
And
Number 2,
also,
stay
do you have a communication about that? Like, do they know whether like,
right.
what
Do
do
they
we
know
even
if
have a
you are
policy
looking?
about this? Yeah.
Like it, I like it. Number 2, staying friends with an ex. Healthy, messy, deal breaker.
Healthy, with the
Mhm.
caveat that you've done your relational work and you know how to actually hold yourself to your
Yep.
actual relationship agreements,
Mhm.
right? Like, do you know what your current relationship agreements are?
Yeah.
If you
I
do
love
and
that.
you can honestly stay with it, great.
Yeah. I'm one, I always do that. I don't know why, I have a lot of ex-friends, and it works for me, not for everyone else all the time. Number 3, opening a relationship to save a struggling marriage.
Super messy. It will be super messy. I will
Rewind to the
not say that.
beginning of the episode.
Yeah. I will not say, though, that it's a deal breaker
No.
because it could be the inspiration for getting the real education and learning that you need together, but it's
Yeah.
going to be messy.
Yeah. I would have said messy. Not defining the relationship after 6 months of dating. Healthy relationship, deal breaker. I
That's a
mean,
deal
healthy,
breaker
messy.
for me. Healthy, messy.
Yeah.
I'm That's a deal breaker for me because it usually is pointing me in the direction, like, I'm being breadcrumbed into thinking this is a relationship when it's a situationship.
Yes. Yes.
Situationships are inherently ambivalent. This gets us
Mm.
into betrayal. If that is you, go read Betrayal and Non-Monogamy by Eve Rickert
Mm.
immediately. Do not pass go, even if you're not non-monogamous. Best book on betrayal that's been out
It's a good
recently.
one.
So good.
Oof. Ooh, I like that one. I just talked yesterday about the breadcrumbing and situationship. Feeling jealous when your partner dates someone else.
Totally healthy. It's what you do with
Yeah,
it that matters. Yeah.
I like it. Putting ethically non-monogamous on your dating profile. I forgot I had that question. I was on a train thought
Healthy
there.
if you know what the hell that means. If you
That's
actually
right.
know what it means, great. But if you
Yeah,
don't and you're just dating multiply, take it off. Just take it off.
take it
Just
off.
say that you're
Yeah.
dating multiple people. It's fine.
And if it's a deal breaker for you that somebody is, be honest about that. Like, why even engage
Absolutely.
in
And
it
if
if you're not willing? Yeah.
while we're at it, read people's
Mm.
profiles. Mine
Mhm.
says I'm married. If that's a problem for you
Ah.
afterwards, I know you didn't read the first line.
Mhm. Mhm. Good
Read the
point.
profile.
Checking dating apps while casually dating.
It's as healthy can be. You're
Yeah,
casually dating. You're
that's
gonna
what
be
I think.
dating. You're
Yeah.
dating. I mean, like,
I
I
do
also
think
go to the
it's
grocery store while I'm casually dating.
healthy. I do
Healthy.
think it's tricky for people that don't quite understand dating and casually dating because you can be dating, like you said, multiple people, and you're trying to find the person that rises to the top that you want to spend your life with. It's like so
And I
for some people.
and it's we all have such a different understanding of, like,
Hmm.
what like, when we need to define the relationship. I really don't think there's a wrong time. You might be a person who
Yeah.
wants to do that, like, in those first 3 dates, you might wait a couple months, but, like, expecting exclusivity the second you go on
So
one
early.
coffee
That's
date
a
with
red
someone, I
flag.
don't.
That's a red flag, right?
Yeah, I'm
Yeah.
confused, like, how.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know. Wanting emotional connection with one partner and sexual freedom with others. This is like a no-brainer.
Healthy
According
as
to
healthy
Julie.
can be if and here's
Uh,
the thing, though, you said wanting it. Yeah,
yes.
sure. You can want anything, whether you
Yes.
act on
Act on
that
it.
and whether you do that from a place of actually getting in, digging in, understanding what it is that this will require of you, that's different.
Mhm.
But
Mm.
also, you can want anything. It
Mhm.
Lots of people want stuff that don't do it.
Yeah, I agree. Last one, sharing passwords with your partner. Healthy, messy.
Healthy, and there needs to be a conversation about what they're used for and also
Yeah.
still places where you can have privacy. But like sharing passwords for some reasons is like, I mean, I share my Disney password with like 4 people right now. I don't know. Like, come on. I know. I know what you
Everybody's
mean, what you're getting at. Like, understand what that shared password is for. If it
is for
is for control, so you can feel safe because you actually don't feel safe with this person,
mm,
then admit that you don't feel
great
safe
point.
with them. That's different than having it
Yep.
like I have passwords for all sorts of things to my partners for legal reasons. Like Like,
Yeah.
I don't look at them, but we also have a lot of explicit conversation about under
Sure.
what circumstance those would ever be used.
Yeah.
I people
Communicate.
die. Like,
Communication. Yeah.
I don't wanna be locked out of my
Exactly.
bank. I don't like
Exactly. Exactly. Well, thank you for playing relationship reality check with me. That was fun. Those were good
super
answers.
fun.
Very good answers. So, once again, thank you so much for joining me. I love having you. You're one of my favorite guests to ever have because you go at it, girl, and you just tell it like it is. And I love
I
it.
will
I
say
love it.
anything, Andrea. I'll say anything. Thanks for
I think
having
I
me.
like
It's
you.
always fun. Always fun.
Always fun. Tell everybody where they can find you, Jolie. Just
You
to
can
get
find me at
started.
joliehamilton.com, and if you're looking for me on social media, I'm at Dr. Joli_Hamilton on all the platforms.
Perfect. And your podcast is? So
Playing with Fire,
there.
available everywhere. I think we're almost 250 episodes
Oh
now,
my
so there's plenty
god,
to
that's
listen to. Plenty to listen
amazing.
to.
Amazing. I
Yeah,
love
Ken
it.
and I just going at it, saying all the things,
It's
saying
so good.
everything.
Yeah, you guys, you're gonna hear her with the man she's married to now,
Yeah,
so
like,
it's
so
really
if
good.
you're thinking that this sounds like I am treating him terribly, I want you to go listen to him. Listen to
How
it
he
from the
treats
horse's
himself.
mouth. Just, like, listen to him. It's honestly, he gets more love on the podcast than anything. I do about
Really?
75% of the talking on the podcast because
Yeah.
I plan it, I do the episode plans and everything, but
Yeah.
people love that
Isn't that
man.
always
They
you
love that
ride in there and
man.
take
They
all
love
the
that man.
accolades?
He's like but he's showing up. He's showing up to the
He
work, calls
is.
himself in. What more can we ask?
That's
If we're gonna
hot.
date a
That's hot.
man,
That
that's what we
we want a
want.
man. I love it. All right, you guys, thank you for joining this week. You can find me on any major streaming platform. I'm at from dot Mrs. dot the number two dot Ms on Instagram and TikTok, and you can email me at Andrea at from Mrs. number two Ms.com. Gosh, trying to keep track of all that stuff is great. All right, you guys, we'll see you next week. Thanks for joining. Bye bye.